Welcome everyone to lecture number 28.3. Okay, so till now we have discussed in lecture number 18.1 article 12, article 13. Okay, all the aspects of article 13. Then in 18.2 we have discussed article 14. What exactly is article 14? What are the things present under it? Now in 18.3 we are going to discuss about the exception that is present within the article 14, that is equality before law. There are certain, like we tell that article 14 is a fundamental right. Nobody can snatch fundamental rights from any individual, but there are certain exception cases where this article 14 will not be allowed. Okay, so what are certain provisions? Okay, so moving ahead we'll see that we follow the concept of where king does no wrong. Okay, so let me give the heading for it. Exception of equality before law. Okay, what is the exception of it? We follow a concept called king does no wrong. That king is never wrong, boss is always right. Okay, so what it tells, that the president or governor, as I have mentioned in previous lecture also, the president, governor is not answerable to the court of law with regard to the discharge of their official functions. Okay, so whatever the function that they are performing when they are president or governor, they are not responsible for answering to the court. Court can question the ruling government. So why you have implemented such law? This law is null and void. Why you have taken such steps? Okay, but nobody can question, but the court, even the court can't question the any sanctions, any discharge of officials, any permission that is given by the president for any action of the ruling government. The question can't be come to the president. They can't question president or governor. Okay, so the president, they enjoy the immunity. Okay, the president and governor is not answerable to the court of law. Okay, with regard to the discharge of their official functions. Okay, now second thing, no criminal action whatsoever can be initiated against the president governor so long as they remain in office. Let us suppose even those officials that president and governor has done any criminal offense, any criminal action can be taken against that person because he is enjoying the immunity of king does no wrong. Okay, so it is just that the respect of that position, on the position on which that person is sitting, that is president and governor, because of that only that person is enjoying that immunity. Okay, once that person leaves that position, once that person leave that chair, that is the president and governor, when the person give the resignation from that position or has been removed from that position, then only then criminal offense will started to be act on that person. Okay, but till that time the person is enjoying in the enjoying in the office, no criminal action can be taken. So no criminal action whatever can be, even if it is murder also, nothing can no criminal action can be taken against that person, can be initiated against the president or governor till when they remain in office, so long as they remain. So that's why it has been seen in various political case, when there is some criminal case offense has been done against any governor, so that's why people start to, like, political opposition party start to asking for the resignation for them, because until and unless that person is not going to give the resignation, that person won't be arrested. Okay, so that's what the power of that position, it is a respect to that position. So no civil proceeding in which compensation relief is claimed can be filed against the president governor after the expiry of 2-month notice served to them. Okay, so like for civil proceeding, if there is any civil proceeding is going to be happen against the president and governor, it can't be filed against that person, so he is enjoying the protection of civil proceeding also, but till when 2 months notice period is given to that person. So within the 2 months period, once the notice has been reached to governor and the president, till that period that person is in safe condition. After once the notice period of the 2 months is expired, then the civil proceeding can be started against that person. Okay, so no civil proceeding in which compensation relief is claimed can be filed against the president or governor after the expiry 2 months notice served to them. Okay, so let us give you an example for it. So in Andhra governor MD Tiwari was accused of sexually exploiting women, and no action was taken against him. Okay, no criminal action, because he was enjoying the immunity at that time. After resignation of MD Tiwari, who was the governor of Andhra, after his resignation only all the charges were taken against him. Okay, so no criminal case was filed, no criminal action or case was filed against him. Okay, now another example where we will see the civil proceeding. So a civil case can be filed against president and governor only after the 2-month notice period is given to him. Okay, but no criminal case can be filed against them, no matter what the charges will be there. Okay, why? What is the reason behind it? The reason behind is that to protect the honor of the office. Okay, to protect the honor of the office, to protect the seat that a governor and president is holding, because of that only this action is not being taken. Okay, so I guess you have a clear picture of it, what I am trying to explain it here. What are the immunities, what are the exceptions of the equality before law. Okay, so visiting heads of one, now we have seen that this respect to the India, within the India, the positions which are not enjoying equality before law, they are above equality before law. So the position of president and governor is before the equality before law, but the person will be chargeable once the person is leave the office. Once the person leave the office means like it is not like from morning and evening he is leaving the office, then he will be arrested. No, I am not telling that. I am telling that once the person resign the office, that means like leave the office, then only action will be taken against him. Okay, now another aspects, visiting heads of countries, visiting heads of countries, they also enjoy these immunities. Okay, visiting heads of countries and foreign diplomats, are not answerable to the court of India in discharge of their official functions. Okay, they are these two, like visiting heads of the country and these foreign diplomats are not answerable to the court of India in discharge of their official functions. Okay, so let us suppose example, a president of country A came to India. And he did some criminal offense. Okay, he did some criminal offense. Okay, like exploiting the female, male, or anything related to it. So he is not answerable to the court of India. This comes under this protection that that person is enjoying. This protection comes under something called as a Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations. This comes under the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations. Okay, in this convention, through this convention, the visiting head, the foreign diplomats are enjoying this protection. It says without any fear of another country law, the diplomat should perform their functions. That's why this was implemented. So let us suppose a official from the Indian official has went to the Pakistan. Okay, and Pakistan can make a false claim also on the Indian official that he has done this crime, and as per the Pakistan law we are going to punish him and we are going to hang till death. We are going to give a punishment to that Indian official. Okay, so that fear is always there, right? If any like enemy state official is going to like let us suppose G20 summit is going to happen, let us suppose is in Pakistan, or let us suppose G20 summit is going to this year in 2023, this year G20 summit is going to happen in India. Okay, so let us suppose Pakistan official is visiting India. So Pakistan and India both are currently, the relation is not good. Okay, they are like enemy to each other. So in that case, India can make a false claim to that. I'm just giving example. India can give a false claim that okay, no, that person has done something wrong, and as per our Indian law, we are going to punish him. Okay, so that can be a false claim also. Similar thing can happen for India also. If let us suppose any event is happening in the Pakistan where Indian official has to visit to the Pakistan, and Indian official has visited Pakistan, and when as he entered into the Pakistan airspace or on the land, a false case has been filed against that official, and once the false case has been filed, then they will start claiming that as per the Pakistan law, that person has to be punished. Okay, so for saving those things, for saving such scenario, Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation was brought up in 1961. Okay, Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation was brought up. It says that without, like, the aim of this convention was that without any fear of another country's law, the diplomat should perform function. Okay, now when there is any immunity to given to the person, so there is a chance that there can be a positive like a real scenario will going to happen. Let us suppose if a official has truly done any wrong thing within the ruling country, so in that case the law of the country will not be applied. Okay, and that protection is given through the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation from 1961. Okay, it's an international treaty that defines framework of diplomatic relation between independent nations. Okay, it specifies the privilege of diplomatic mission that enable diplomats to perform their function without fear of coercion and harassment by any host country. Okay, now this is giving clear picture of it. So this is one another exception of this equality before law. So Vienna Convention consists of how many articles? There are total 53 articles that is present under the Vienna Convention. In the Article 9 says a host nation may at any time and for any reason declare a particular member of the diplomatic staff to be persona non grata. Okay, now this is a very important aspect that we have to see and see it very carefully. Okay, so in the Vienna Convention of relation, okay, yeah, so there are total 53 articles within this. There are 53 articles, as how it is like in present under the constitution. Similarly, Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation have a total 53 articles. Okay, now within the article 9 of Vienna Convention, there is something called as a persona non grata. Persona non grata. There is a term that is mentioned under the persona non grata. Okay, so it is telling that a person leave the country. So let us suppose a person who has visited as a diplomat to any particular country and he has done a crime. Okay, so the sending state must recall this person, or otherwise person may lose his her diplomatic immunity through this persona non grata. Okay, so what happened? So like a time period will be given. Let us suppose a person A has visited India. A person A has visited India and has done some criminal offense. Okay, and person A is enjoying the enjoying this Vienna Convention protection. Okay, as per that that country law will not be affected to it. So now in that case what will happen, will allow him to stay within the country. Or let us suppose person A has entered into the country, and he has started to do some murder, of continuously doing some murder, or some doing a very wrong things, or exploiting the women and all. Okay, so and he is not listening to anyone. So let us suppose that an uncontrollable scenario is going to happen, or a repetitive events incident is happening. Okay, in that case what will happen, in that case persona non grata will come into the play. Okay, what exactly is this persona non grata? Persona non grata is like, now the country India will give a time period for the person A to leave the country. Okay, and if within the time period person A didn't leave the country, then the laws of India will be applicable to him. Okay, then the law of the India will be start to applicable to him, and he will get the punishment under it. Okay, so the Vienna Convention consists of 53 articles. In this article 9 says that a host nation may at a host nation, it means like India, like person A, let us suppose person A is from Pakistan, so A is going to India. So a host nation may at any time for any reason declare a particular member of the diplomatic staff to be persona non grata. So India can declare person A at any time a persona non grata. Okay, and it can be any reason. For India, if India also don't feel safe or anything, that is not questionable. Okay, if India feels so, if host country feels so for any reason, then India can raise declare a particular member of that country will be persona non grata. Okay, so the sending state means like the Pakistan who has sent that official A, the sending state must recall this person, or otherwise person may lose his or her diplomatic immunity. Okay, once the India raise the persona non grata for the particular diplomat, then the sending state must have to recall that person immediately. If it is not going to happen, then this person A will lose his or her immunity. Which kind of immunity? Diplomatic immunity. Okay, I guess like it is very clear. So persona non grata, it means that leave the country within the specified period of time, otherwise will be taken under the law of that host country. If the person A is not leaving the country within the specified period of time, then the law of the host country will be applicable to him. Okay, now this was about the article 9 of the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation. Okay, now there is something called article 22 also. Within the article 22 of this convention, the premises of the diplomatic mission such as an embassy are inviolate and must not be entered by the host country without the permission of the head of the mission. Okay, so let us suppose in India, we have a embassy of Pakistan. Okay, now Indian police can't enter into the embassy. This embassy is present within the India only. Okay, but Indian police can't enter into the Pakistan embassy without the permission of the head. Okay, they can't enter. Even there is a criminal offense is going within the embassy. Okay, they don't have a right. They can't enter into that premise. Okay, that is another type of protection. So as per the Vienna Convention, the premises of a diplomatic missions, let us suppose that Pakistan embassy is there. So embassy is also a diplomatic premises. Okay, so the premises of a diplomatic mission such as an embassy are inviolate, that nobody can violate it, of the host country, are inviolate and must not be entered by the host country. That must not be entered by the host country without the permission of the head of the mission. without the permission of the head of the mission. So Article 30, this Article 30 present under the Vienna Convention extend it. Article 30 extend this provision. Extend which provision? Article 22 provision to the private residence of the diplomat. Now Article 30 extends Article 22 to the provisions as a, that is a private residence of the diplomats. Now what exactly does it mean? Okay, I will give you a better example. So WikiLeaks founder, a very good example. Many of you don't know about this. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, you can Google this thing also. So WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was accused of sexually assault by a Sweden authority. Okay, he an arrest warrant was issued against him, and he was from the Australia. He was from the Australia region. Okay, let me 1 second. I'm getting one call. Yeah. So so WikiLeaks founder was an Australian editor and all. Okay. So he quickly sneaks into an equatorial embassy. Okay, asylum. He entered into the asylum of that Australia within the UK. Okay. So the England police was outside the embassy and they were unable to enter into the embassy. Okay. So in April 2019 he was arrested. So in April 2019 he was arrested, and from till he was entered into the embassy, from 2012 he was staying within that embassy, within that asylum. He was living there. So just see, police were standing outside the embassy but they were unable to arrest him. From 2012 to 2019 he was present there. Police was outside the gate. Police knew that he is present inside this asylum. He is inside the embassy, but police didn't have a power to arrest him. Because he was enjoying that protection that is given through the Article 30 from the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relation. Okay, so that is mentioned. The Article 30 extends Article 22 to the provisions as a private residence. It can be a private residence of the diplomat also, that is extended, and within that private residence also he is enjoying that immunity. Okay, so equal protection by the law. Now we have seen whatever the thing we have seen, that equality before law. Equality before law. Okay, so before the law everyone is equal, and this was the exception of it. Okay, now we'll see equal protection of the law, equal protection by the law. See, there is a very fine difference between I will tell you. One term is that we have seen equality before law. Now we see equal protection by law. Okay, equal protection by law. So we have seen equality before law, we have understood it. Okay, and I don't think there is any doubt. Now equal protection by law, what does it mean? It means equally of treatment in equal circumstances, not equally of treatment in unequal circumstances. Okay, see, equality before law, like before the law everyone is equal. So like Indian law can't have a different law for the poor people and can't have a different law for the rich people. If rich people has also done a crime A and poor people has also done a crime A, both will be persecuted under the same section. of the criminal act. Okay, it won't be the scene that rich people have a separate criminal act. He will be persecuted under separate criminal act, and poor people will be persecuted under separate criminal act. No, there is a equality before law. Everyone is equal. Court will treat rich people and poor people both are on equal bench, on equal status. Okay, now equal protection by law. So it means that law is protecting everyone equally. Okay, now here our logic comes that we have seen that a short height people was watching the match and long height people is also watching the match from a boundary. So short height people is unable to peep through the wall, but long height people is able to peep through the wall. Why? So now there is a advantage to the long height people, and short height people is unable to enjoy the match. So there is not equality. Actually this is not equality, but yes, both have not been supported by anything externally. Okay, but we are comparing it. So actually on like literal meaning of the equal, both are at equal position, but now we have to raise the short height person height by giving him a stool or a table, and now the person will stand on that table and he will be able to watch the match. So now this is actually a equality. So literal meaning it is away from the literal meaning of the equality. So we'll see. I will try to explain into the word so that you will be able to understand it better. You will able to write better in the examination. Okay, so what does this equal means? It means equally treatment in equal circumstances, not equally treatment in unequal circumstances. What does it mean? That we have to treat equal means like we have to treat both the people in equal circumstances. Okay, let us suppose a person, a short height people that I have given you, that short height people is watching the watching the match, and long height people has also given the opportunity to watch the match. Short height person is unable to watch the match because of his height, and because of that now we will start a questioning. We will be having quiz, that who will be answering 10 questions correctly will be awarded 50,000 rupees. But short height people is unable to watch. He hasn't watched the match. He hasn't given the equal opportunity because of his height. He hasn't watched the match. So obviously the long height people who has peeped through the wall and able to watch the match will answer it for, and he will won the match. He will won the quiz. Okay, so that's what. Now we have to, this statement means that this is not equal. This is not equality. Equality means that we have to treat equally in the equal circumstances. Okay, that equal, when the quiz will be valid, that the quiz will be valid only after when the short height person has also watched the match and long height person has also watched the match. If I am telling that a person A hasn't watched the match, and we will start asking the question that what happened today in the match. Okay, so that's what means, like we have to treat in equal circumstances, not equally treatment in the unequal circumstances. The circumstance for that short height person was unequal because he was unable to peep through the wall to watch the match. Okay, that I am giving the example. In the previous lecture I have given the example that there is a short height person, this is a wall, and there is a long height person, this is the wall. Okay, so now long height person, this is a wall. Okay, now this short height person is unable to watch the match, but this long height person is able to watch the match. Okay, so what is happening? He is able to enjoy the match, but because of his height he is unable to watch the match. And there can be many reasons to he is unable to grow, because of not getting proper nutrition while he was a childhood. He was poor at the time, so he was unable to take a food, and in that case, okay. And after the watching the match, there is a quiz happening. Okay, in that quiz 10 questions will be asked, and whoever will won will be 50,000 rupees will be awarded. Okay, now this, because of his height, this person hasn't watched the match completely, so how he can answer the questions of the quiz? Okay, but the long haired person has watched the match, so he will be able to answer the question. So obviously in this scenario, in this circumstance, that person, let me name person A and person B. So in this circumstance, person B is going to win this quiz. Okay, what is happening? This is unequal circumstances is present. Okay, so now we have to treat this person A equally. We have to give equal circumstances to that person. So let us suppose I have placed a stool here, and now this person will stand over it and he will watch the match. Now both person is watching the match. Person A is also able to watch the match and person B is also able to watch the match. Okay, now when we conduct a quiz after this thing, then whoever will win, that will be equal equal treatment for everyone. Okay, that exactly means by the, I hope that I force too much in this concept to understand. Okay, it means equally treatment in equal circumstances, not equally treatment in unequal circumstances. Okay, so that among the equals the law should be equal and equally administered, that like should be treated alike. Okay, so equally treatment for everyone, like should be treated alike. If both person are same, will be treated same. If there is a difference between person, will give a chance to that person, and then will treat equally for them. Okay, it requires affirmative action by the state. Now when I am telling you that I have provided a stool to that person A to stand over it and then watch the match, then someone has to come who has to provide the stool, okay, on which he can stand. Okay, so let us suppose the quiz organizer has given a stool to that person A. Okay, sir, please stand on this stool and then watch the match. Okay, then after we'll have a quiz. Okay, in that case who is helping that person? That is quiz organizer. So similar case, state should take a affirmative action. State should take a such affirmative. So whatever the steps has been taken by the quiz organizer, that is giving this tool to that person, it is something called as affirmative action, that yes, he is trying to give a equal opportunity to everyone. Okay, so now state should so it requires affirmative action by the state towards unequal by providing facilities and opportunities. Okay, so now in this example, quiz organizer has provided facilities of what? Facility of tool. Okay, facility of tool is provided to that person A, and opportunity is provided to that person A, that you have a short height also, but we are giving you opportunity to watch the match and win this quiz. Okay, so now just replace that quiz organizer term with your state and replace this example with the people of India. Replace this person A with the poverty. Replace the person A with poverty people who are below the poverty, and replace the person B with the rich people. Okay, with the rich people. Now the state has to take affirmative actions towards unequal by providing the facilities and opportunities to the people who are below the poverty line, so that they will rise within the society equally and they will stand equally within the society neck to neck with the rich people. Okay, that exactly means by the equal protection by the law. Okay, so focus on the substantive equality and distributive justice within this concept, that we should be focused on the substantive equality and distributive justice. Okay, so backward people and developed people, with this example, backward people and developed people can't be treated equally. Okay, we have to distribute this thing within the opportunities and all, we have to distribute this thing within the people. Okay, so yeah, this was the exception under the article 14. Okay, so we'll a glimpse of it. So article 14 also prohibit class legislation and not classification of the purpose of the legislation. Okay, so what does it mean? Let me give you article 14. Article 14 prohibits something called as a class legislation. Okay, class legislation and not classification for the purpose of legislation. Okay, it prohibit, article 14 prohibits class legislation, not classification for the purpose of class legislation. What does it mean? Equal protection laws says we can make laws for the people who are socially and educationally backward to uplift them. Whatever I said in the poverty, then we can make a laws that will uplift the socially and educationally backward people. For this we have to identify them who are socially and educationally backward people. We can classify them. We can classify those such people. Okay, we can classify such people who are socially and educationally backward, and we can classify them, and classification will done on a reasonable basis, and judiciary can also check this if we are doing so. Like I am telling that like the ruling government legislature has framed the law that a classification that person who is earning more than 10 lakh will be included under the backward condition. How is it possible? How can it be done? Person who is earning 10 lakh, who is that is poor people, and person who is earning less than 10 lakh is rich people. How is it this possible? I'm just giving a very vague kind of example. So in that case, judiciary can strike it. Okay, you can't do that. This is completely illegal and illogical. Okay, so that's what it means, that article 14, that it prohibits class legislation. It prohibits class legislation and not classification for the purpose of legislation. For the purpose of ruling, for the purpose of legislation, for the purpose of ruling over the people, where we can uplift the society or the social backward class people. So if we are doing such classification, then it is good. Then we can do so. Okay, like reservation, providing reservation and all, yes, that is allowed. If we are doing if we are providing reservation for the backward people, so that they can come and join the office government offices and uplift their society, uplift their family. So yes, that classification can be done, but class legislation can't be done. Okay, class legislation means what? That we will be treating different to the poor people and treating different to the rich people. Class legislation, I have created two class, one is the rich class, another is the poor class, and I will be treating poor people differently and rich people differently. That is not allowed. Class legislation is not allowed, but yes, classification for the purpose of legislation is allowed in the article 14. So now this lecture is complete for the article 14. Previous lecture we have discussed all about what are the aspects is present under the article 14. In this lecture we have discussed the exception that is present under the article 14, that there are certain immunities that is provided for the ruling people like the president and the governor. Now for the foreign diplomats also enjoy such protection. Okay, so those things has been enjoyed within the article 14. Okay, now we'll see in the next lecture article 15. Thank you.